What if you are, at this very moment, broadcasting a powerful, invisible signal into the universe? Every thought you think, every feeling you feel, and every belief you hold is contributing to a unique frequency that is being sent out into the cosmos 24 hours a day. This is not a metaphor. It is the fundamental principle of creation. The life you are currently experiencing is a perfect, energetic reflection of the signal you have been consistently broadcasting. The problem is not that your signal is weak. It is that you have been broadcasting unconsciously, sending out a chaotic mix of hope and fear, desire and doubt. This guide will teach you how to become the conscious, deliberate, and powerful master of your own universal signal, allowing you to finally broadcast the exact frequency of the life you truly desire. Your universal signal. Broadcasting the frequency of your desires. Written and published by Success Attraction Formula. Chapter 1. Building your inner broadcasting tower. Imagine for a moment that your deepest desire is to broadcast a beautiful, inspiring musical performance to the entire world. You are a gifted musician, and your song has the power to uplift and heal millions. However, the radio tower from which you must transmit your signal is a rickety, unstable structure, built on shaky ground and held together with rusty bolts. It sways violently with every gust of wind, and its power source flickers on and off unpredictably. With such a weak and unreliable broadcasting tower, how could your beautiful music ever reach its intended audience? The signal would be weak, filled with static, and constantly interrupted. The power of your message would be lost. This is a perfect metaphor for how most people attempt to manifest their desires. Their inner world, the very broadcasting tower from which their intentions are sent, is an unstable and chaotic structure. It is built on the shaky ground of self-doubt, battered by the winds of fear and anxiety, and powered by an inconsistent source of wavering belief. They try to broadcast a powerful signal for wealth and success, but their inner tower is so weak that the signal that actually goes out is one of lack, worry, and unworthiness. They are trying to transmit a symphony through a broken radio, and then they are left feeling frustrated and unheard, wondering why the world does not respond to their call. The profound and transformative solution is to shift your focus entirely. Before you worry about the message you are sending, you must first do the foundational work of building a strong, stable, and powerful inner broadcasting tower. Your inner state of being is the structure that gives your intentions their power and reach. A calm, centered, and coherent inner state creates a tall, stable tower from which your desires can be broadcast with immense power and clarity. A chaotic, fearful, and conflicted inner state creates a weak tower that can only produce a weak and garbled signal. Therefore, the first and most critical step in becoming a master of manifestation is not to focus on what you want, but on building the internal structure from which you will ask. It is about becoming a master architect and engineer of your own consciousness. When you build a magnificent inner tower, founded on peace and constructed with self-worth, even your quietest whisper of desire is broadcast with more power than the desperate shouts of someone operating from a place of inner chaos. The first principle in building this tower is clearing the ground. You would never construct a skyscraper on a foundation of unstable soil and debris. Similarly, you must first clear the foundational ground of your consciousness from the debris of your past conditioning. This debris consists of your limiting beliefs and the negative self-talk they generate. These are the beliefs that tell you that you are not good enough, that success is hard, or that you do not deserve happiness. Your first task is not to fight these beliefs, but to simply see them for what they are, foundational weaknesses that must be cleared away. The practice for this is mindful excavation. This involves becoming a non-judgmental observer of your own thoughts. Throughout your day, begin to pay attention to the automatic thoughts that run through your mind, especially when you think about your goals. When a thought like, "I could never afford that," arises, you will not criticize yourself for it. You will simply and calmly acknowledge it as if you were a construction foreman inspecting the site. You can say to yourself, "Noted. A belief of financial limitation has been found at this location." This act of calm, detached observation stops you from identifying with the belief. You see it not as a part of you, but as a piece of debris that needs to be cleared. By consistently identifying this mental and emotional debris without judgment, you begin the process of clearing the ground, preparing it for a new and powerful structure. Once the ground has been cleared and inspected, the second principle is pouring the foundation. A strong tower requires a deep, solid, and unshakable foundation. The foundation of your inner broadcasting tower is built from a set of consciously chosen core empowering beliefs. These are the fundamental truths upon which your entire new reality will be built. While the old debris was made of beliefs like, I am not worthy, your new foundation will be made of beliefs like, I am inherently worthy of all good things. The universe is an abundant and friendly place. And I am a powerful creator of my own reality. The practice for installing this new foundation is belief installation. You must treat these new beliefs as sacred architectural principles. Write them down. Read them aloud every single morning and every single evening. But most importantly, you must begin to actively look for evidence of their truth in your daily life. For example, if your new foundational belief is, the universe is an abundant and friendly place, you must actively spend your day looking for proof. You might notice the sheer number of leaves on a tree, the kindness of a stranger who held a door open for you, or the simple fact that you have clean water to drink. Each time you find a piece of evidence, no matter how small, you consciously acknowledge it as proof of your new belief. You are like a scientist gathering data to support a new theory. This consistent gathering of evidence is what allows these new beliefs to move from being just words on a page to becoming a solid, unshakable foundation deep within your subconscious mind. The third and final principle is the ongoing work of constructing the tower itself. With the ground cleared and the foundation poured, you now begin the daily practice of building your tower taller and stronger. The structure of your tower is your daily state of being, your dominant mood and energy. A tower built of peace, calm, and confidence will be tall and stable. A tower built of stress, anxiety, and reactivity will be weak and unstable. The daily construction practices are simple but profound disciplines like meditation, mindfulness, and journaling. A short daily meditation practice, even just for 10 minutes, is like adding a new reinforcing steel beam to your tower each day. It trains your mind to be calm and centered, making your tower more resilient to the winds of external circumstances. A mindfulness practice, where you learn to be fully present in the moment rather than lost in past regrets or future worries, strengthens the entire structure. A journaling practice, where you can process your emotions and clarify your thoughts, is like performing daily maintenance, tightening the bolts and ensuring the structural integrity of your tower. By committing to these simple daily practices, you are no longer leaving your inner state to chance. You are consciously and deliberately building a magnificent inner broadcasting tower, one that is so tall, so strong, and so stable that it can transmit any signal you choose with breathtaking power and clarity. You have now completed the essential foundational work. You have cleared the ground of your old limitations, poured a new foundation of empowering beliefs, and you have begun the daily construction of a tall and powerful inner broadcasting tower. You now possess a magnificent instrument of creation. But what specific message will you choose to broadcast from it? How do you move from having a powerful transmitter to crafting a signal of desire that is so clear, so specific, and so compelling that the universe cannot possibly misinterpret it? Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 2. Crafting Your Signal of Desire. Imagine you have just finished building the most powerful radio broadcasting tower in the world. It is tall, stable, and capable of sending a signal to the farthest corners of the globe with perfect clarity. You stand before the microphone, ready to make your first broadcast. But what if, instead of broadcasting a clear, eloquent, and meaningful message, you simply began to make random, incoherent noises into the microphone? What if you mumbled a few vague words, then hummed a little, then shouted a contradictory thought, then fell silent? No matter how powerful your tower is, The message that would be received by listeners around the world would be nothing but confusing static. They would quickly tune out. This is the exact predicament that many people face on their creative journey. They may have done the important work of building a stable inner state, a strong broadcasting tower, but the actual signal they send out, their desire, is vague, fuzzy, and internally contradictory. They broadcast, "I want to be rich," but that signal is immediately followed by the static of, "But I don't want to work too hard." They broadcast, "I want a loving partner," but it is mixed with the interference of, "But I'm afraid of getting hurt." This jumbled, unfocused broadcast is impossible for the universe to respond to in a coherent way. A powerful tower is useless without a clear signal. The transformative solution is to evolve from being a passive wisher to becoming a master signal engineer. An engineer's job is to design a signal that is precise, efficient, and perfectly crafted to achieve a specific outcome. In the same way, you must learn to consciously and deliberately craft your signal of desire with such crystalline clarity and emotional power that it becomes an unmistakable beacon in the universe. A well-crafted signal is not just a thought. It is a complete energetic package. It contains a detailed blueprint of what you want, the powerful emotional fuel of why you want it, and the congruent identity of who you must become to receive it. When you learn to engineer your signal in this way, you move from broadcasting confusing static to transmitting a high-definition, multi-layered message that the universe can lock onto and respond to with astonishing speed and accuracy. The first component of a well-crafted signal is the what, which must be defined with blueprint specificity. A generic desire is a low-resolution, black and white signal. A detailed multi-sensory desire is a 4K, full-color, surround sound broadcast. You must move your desire from an abstract idea in your mind into a rich, experiential blueprint that you can engage with using all of your senses. The most effective practice for this is the 5 senses blueprint. Take one of your primary desires and, like a skilled film director, begin to build the scene of its fulfillment in your imagination. For example, let's move beyond the vague signal of "I want a new car." What, specifically, does this car look like? See the exact make, model, and the deep, glossy color of the paint under the sunlight. What does it sound like? Hear the satisfying, solid thud of the door closing, the quiet, powerful hum of the engine, and your favorite song playing through the high-fidelity sound system. What does it smell like? That unique, wonderful, new car smell of the leather and the clean interior. What does it feel like? The smooth, cool feel of the steering wheel in your hands, the comfortable support of the driver's seat, the exhilarating feeling of acceleration as you press the pedal. By building this detailed, sensory-rich blueprint, you are doing something far more profound than just daydreaming. You are creating a specific and potent energetic signature for your desire. You are giving the universe a precise and detailed set of coordinates, not just a general direction. The second and equally critical component of your signal is the why, which provides the emotional resonance. The what is the structure of your signal, but the why is the power source that makes it broadcast. The emotional charge behind your desire is what gives it its magnetic force. Often, the external thing we think we want is merely a symbol for a deeper feeling or state of being that our soul is truly calling for. Uncovering this core emotional driver is essential for crafting a signal with maximum power. The practice for this is the core feeling inquiry. It is a simple but profound process of repeatedly asking yourself why you want your specific desire, digging deeper with each answer until you arrive at the foundational root feeling. Let's use the desire for a successful online business. Why do you want that? To make a lot of money. Why do you want to make a lot of money? So I can quit my stressful job. Why do you want to quit your job? So I can have more freedom and control over my time. Why do you want more freedom? Because freedom would allow me to feel creative, joyful, and at peace. The true signal, then, is not for a business. The true signal is for the feelings of creativity, joy, and peace. Knowing this is a game changer. You can now infuse the blueprint of your business with these powerful, high-frequency emotions. Your signal is no longer just a successful business. It is a successful business that is a vehicle for my daily experience of creativity, joy, and peace. This emotionally charged signal is infinitely more powerful and magnetic. The third and final component of your signal is the who, which is about identity alignment. When you broadcast a signal, you are not only defining the message, but you are also identifying yourself as the broadcaster. To successfully receive and sustain a new reality, you must become the person who is an energetic match for that reality. The universe will not deliver a reality of vibrant health to someone who consistently maintains the identity, habits, and beliefs of an unhealthy person. You must consciously architect your identity to match the signal you are sending. The practice for this is identity architecture. You must ask yourself a series of deep questions. Who is the version of me that is already living the reality I desire? What are their non-negotiable daily habits? What are their core beliefs about themselves? How do they carry themselves? How do they speak? You must then begin to consciously and deliberately embody that identity today, before the external proof has arrived. For example, if your desire is to be a confident and charismatic public speaker, you must adopt the identity of one now. You would begin to study other great speakers, practice your speech with confidence in front of a mirror, and carry yourself with a more upright and open posture. By adopting the identity and the daily actions of the person you wish to become, you are sending the most powerful and coherent signal of all to the universe. You are declaring, I am ready. I am no longer just asking for this reality. I am broadcasting from this reality. This alignment of identity makes your signal authentic and incredibly powerful. You have now built a powerful inner broadcasting tower, and you have learned how to engineer a clear, specific, and emotionally charged signal of desire. You have the instrument, and you have the music. But what about the broadcast frequency itself? How do you ensure that your beautiful, clear signal is being broadcast on the exact frequency that corresponds to success, to wealth, or to love? How do you learn to consciously tune your personal vibration to match the reality you wish to experience, ensuring that your signal is not just sent, but received by the right station? Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 3. Tuning to the frequency of success. Imagine you are in your car, and you want to listen to your favorite rock music station, which you know broadcasts on 98.7 FM. However, your car radio is currently tuned to 88.1 FM, the classical music station. No matter how much you want to hear rock music, no matter how clear the signal from the rock station is, and no matter how sophisticated your car's sound system is, you will not hear it. You will only hear classical music, because that is the frequency you are tuned to. To hear the music you desire, you must consciously and deliberately change the dial. This is a perfect and powerful analogy for the process of manifestation. The universe is like a giant radio dial with an infinite number of stations, each one broadcasting a different reality on a unique frequency. There is a frequency for poverty and a frequency for wealth. There is a frequency for loneliness and a frequency for love. There is a frequency for sickness and a frequency for vibrant health. The problem is that most people are broadcasting their desire for one reality while being firmly tuned to the frequency of another. They send out a clear signal of desire for wealth, but their personal, energetic radio dial is tuned to the frequency of lack, worry, and scarcity. They are asking for rock music while listening to classical. This mismatch of frequencies is the reason why so many clear and heartfelt desires go unmanifested. The signal is sent, but it is sent on the wrong channel. The transformative solution is to understand that you must become a master frequency tuner. You must learn how to consciously and deliberately tune your personal vibration, your dominant emotional state, to match the exact frequency of the reality you wish to experience. The fundamental law of the universe is like attracts like. You cannot attract a reality of wealth while you are primarily vibrating at the frequency of poverty. You must learn how to tune yourself to the frequency of wealth before the wealth arrives. This is the secret key to manifestation. It is not about asking and then waiting. It is about asking and then becoming an energetic match for the answer. When you successfully tune your personal frequency to the frequency of your desire, you make its physical manifestation inevitable. You are no longer just a hopeful listener. You are a resonant receiver, perfectly calibrated to pick up the broadcast you have been calling for. The first principle in becoming a master frequency tuner is to learn to use your emotional guidance system. How do you know what frequency you are currently tuned to? The answer is simple: by paying attention to how you feel. Your emotions are your built-in, infallible vibrational indicators. They are the display on your energetic radio, telling you exactly which station you are listening to at any given moment. When you feel emotions like joy, love, gratitude, passion, and excitement, these are high-frequency feelings. They are an indication that you are tuned to a station that is in alignment with your desires and your highest good. When you feel emotions like fear, anger, jealousy, despair, or unworthiness, these are low-frequency feelings. They are an indication that you are tuned to a station of lack and resistance. The key is to start paying attention to your emotional state without judgment. Your feelings are not good or bad. They are simply information. They are your guidance system. The practice is to conduct regular frequency checks throughout your day. Several times a day, pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What frequency am I currently broadcasting? If you notice you are feeling anxious, you can simply acknowledge, okay, my dial is currently on the anxiety station. This awareness is the first step. You cannot change your frequency until you know where you are currently tuned. Once you know how to read your current frequency, the second principle is to master the tuning process. This is the active and conscious process of changing your energetic dial from a lower frequency to a higher one. The most powerful tool for this is the practice of feeling it real, which we touched on before, but here we apply it specifically as a tuning mechanism. This is the art of using your focused imagination not just to see your desire, but to generate the powerful, elevated feeling of your wish already being fulfilled. This feeling is the frequency you want to tune to. To practice this, you will use your connection ritual. Sit in your quiet space, bring your detailed, multisensory blueprint to mind, and then shift your entire focus to the emotional component. Ask yourself, if this were my reality right now, how would I be feeling? Then do whatever it takes to generate that feeling in your body. You might need to smile, to sit up straighter, to breathe more deeply, or to recall a past memory of a similar joyful feeling. Generate this feeling of success, of love, of peace, so intensely that it becomes your dominant emotional state. Hold that feeling for as long as you can, for 1 minute, for 5 minutes, for 17 minutes. In doing this, you are manually, consciously, and deliberately changing your frequency. You are turning the dial from the station of I want this to the station of I have this. This is the single most powerful creative act you can perform. The third and final principle is to learn how to calibrate your receiver so that you can stay on your desired frequency for longer and longer periods of time. It is one thing to feel good for a few minutes during a visualization, but the real work is to maintain that high frequency as you go about your day. The practice for this is to create a set of vibrational anchors. An anchor is a pre-chosen stimulus that you can use to instantly reconnect you to your desired high-frequency feeling. For example, if the feeling of your desire is one of profound joy, you can choose a specific, uplifting song as your joy anchor. Then, whenever you feel your mood starting to dip, you can play that song and allow it to instantly lift your frequency back to the joy station. Another powerful anchor is a physical object. You might choose a small, smooth stone or a piece of jewelry. You can charge this anchor by holding it in your hand during your feeling it real practice. Then, throughout the day, whenever you touch your anchor, it will serve as a physical reminder to reconnect with that elevated feeling. You can also use gratitude rampages, as discussed before, as a powerful recalibration tool. By having a toolkit of these anchors at your disposal, you are no longer at the mercy of your fleeting moods. You have the power to consciously and consistently recalibrate your frequency, keeping your dial tuned to the station of success all day long. You are now broadcasting a clear, powerful signal on the exact frequency of your desires. You have become a master of your own energetic broadcast. But what if you could turn up the volume? What if you could amplify the power of your signal so that it cuts through all cosmic noise and reaches its destination with an even greater, more compelling, and more irresistible force? The next step is to learn the advanced techniques for amplifying the power of your universal broadcast. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 4. Amplifying the power of your broadcast. What if you could turn the volume of your universal signal up from a quiet, polite whisper to a stadium-filling, earth-shaking roar? You have done the magnificent work of building your inner tower, crafting a clear signal of desire and meticulously tuning it to the frequency of success. You are now broadcasting a clean, coherent message into the cosmos. This alone places you far ahead of the vast majority of people who are broadcasting nothing but unintentional static. However, the universe is a busy place, filled with an infinite number of signals, intentions, and energies. To ensure that your desire manifests with speed, grace, and power, you must learn how to amplify your signal, to give it the energetic force required to command the attention of the creative forces of the universe. Imagine a small, battery-powered radio transmitter trying to broadcast a signal across an entire continent. While the signal might be clear, it is simply too weak to travel the distance and overcome other, more powerful signals. It will likely get lost in the noise. The problem many people face at this stage is that while their intention is clear, the power behind it is timid. They broadcast their desire, but they do so with a whisper of energy, hoping it will be enough. They have not yet learned how to intentionally and deliberately turn up the volume of their own creative power. The transformative solution is to become a master of signal amplification. This is the art of using specific, focused techniques to dramatically multiply the power and intensity of your energetic broadcast. If crafting your signal is about clarity and tuning is about accuracy, then amplification is about raw power. It is about infusing your signal with so much focused, congruent energy that it becomes an undeniable, irresistible force in the quantum field. An amplified signal cuts through the cosmic noise. It collapses time, and it magnetizes resources and opportunities to you with astonishing speed. When you learn to amplify your broadcast, you are no longer just a participant in the creative process. You become a dominant force within it. You move from gently requesting a reality to powerfully commanding it into existence, not through force or struggle, but through the sheer, focused intensity of your own amplified consciousness. The first and most tangible method of amplification is through congruent action. A signal that exists only in your mind and your meditation practice is powerful, but a signal that is backed up by physical action in the real world is exponentially more so. Taking small, physical actions that are in alignment with your desire is one of the most potent ways to amplify your broadcast. Why? Because it demonstrates to the universe, and more importantly to your own subconscious mind, that you are serious about your intention. It proves your commitment and your faith. It is your skin in the game. The practice for this is to ask yourself every day, what is one small, physical action I can take today that is in alignment with the reality I am creating? For example, if your desire is to be a successful author, the congruent action is to write for 30 minutes every single day. The act of sitting down and physically writing, even if no one ever sees it, sends a powerful amplifying signal that you are a writer. If your desire is to be a healthy and fit person, the congruent action is to go for a walk or do a workout. This physical act amplifies the signal far more than just thinking about being healthy. These actions do not have to be massive. The key is that they are consistent and congruent. They ground your energetic signal in the physical world, giving it substance, weight, and immense power. The second method of amplification is through the power of the spoken word. There is a creative power in your voice that is often underestimated. While thoughts are powerful, a thought that is given form through spoken word gains a new level of density and creative force. The act of speaking your desire aloud uses the physical body, your lungs, your vocal cords, your breath, to project your intention into the world with sonic vibration. This has a profound effect on both the energy within you and the energy around you. The practice is vocal declaration. This is different from a mumbled, half-hearted affirmation. A vocal declaration is spoken with power, emotion, and conviction. In your connection ritual, or at any time you feel you need a power boost, you will speak your desire aloud as if it were already a fact. Instead of just thinking about your goal, you will declare with the full force of your voice and your feeling, "I am a successful and wealthy entrepreneur, and my business is a powerful force for good in the world." Or, "I am in a joyful, loving, and committed relationship with my perfect partner." Speaking these words aloud sends vibrations through every cell in your body, programming them to align with your new reality. It also projects a powerful sound wave of intention into your environment. You are literally telling the universe what you are creating, not just with your thoughts, but with your physical voice. This adds a powerful layer of creative energy to your broadcast, amplifying it significantly. The third, and perhaps most paradoxical method of amplification is through the power of surrender. This may seem counterintuitive. How can letting go possibly amplify your signal? The answer lies in understanding the energy of resistance. After you have broadcast your signal with focused intention, congruent action, and vocal declaration, a natural human tendency is to start worrying, to start checking for results, to start trying to control the outcome. This energy of neediness, anxiety, and control is a low-frequency energy of resistance. It is like pushing the send button on an email and then immediately trying to pull the electrons back because you are worried they will not get there. This anxious clinging actually weakens and distorts your signal. True amplification, at this stage, comes from the profound act of dialing and releasing, as we discussed before, but understood here as an amplifier. After you have done everything in your power to send the strongest signal possible, you must consciously and completely surrender the outcome to the universe. This act of surrender is not one of giving up, it is an act of supreme faith. It is a powerful declaration that says, "I have broadcasted my signal with all my power, I have done my part, I now trust the universe to do its part." This release of resistance, this shift from anxious needing to calm trusting, is what allows your signal to travel unimpeded through the cosmic channels. It is the final, powerful whoosh of energy that sends your intention on its way with maximum force. You are now not just a conscious broadcaster, you are a powerful one. You have learned how to build your inner tower, craft a clear signal, tune it to the correct frequency, and now how to amplify its power so that it rings through the cosmos with undeniable force. You have sent your message. But communication is a two-way street. How do you know if your message has been received? What happens when the universe begins to broadcast signals back to you? The next critical skill you must develop is learning how to decode the universe's return signals so you can recognize the answers when they arrive. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. 5. Decoding the universe's return signals. Imagine you have just sent an important and heartfelt text message to a loved one. You have crafted the words carefully, and you have sent it with love. Now you are waiting for a reply. Are you only looking for a full, multi-paragraph essay in response? Or do you also notice the smaller, more subtle signs that your message has been received and is being responded to? You might see the notification that your message has been delivered and then read. You might see the 3 small dots that appear, indicating that your loved one is in the process of typing a reply. These small signs are incredibly reassuring. They let you know that the connection has been made, that your message was not lost, and that a response is on its way. In your communication with the universe, the same principle applies. After you have sent out your powerful amplified signal, the universe almost always begins to send you return signals to let you know that your message has been received and that your request is being processed. The problem is that most people are completely unaware of these return signals. They are impatiently waiting for the final grand manifestation, the lottery win, the dream house appearing overnight, and they are blind to the subtle, beautiful confirmations that are all around them. Because they do not see the message delivered receipt or the universe is typing dots, they lose faith, assume their broadcast was not heard, and they hang up the phone, severing the connection just as the response was being formulated. The transformative solution is to become a skilled cosmic decoder. This is the art and science of learning to recognize and interpret the various forms of feedback, guidance, and confirmation that the universe provides in response to your broadcast. You must understand that the universe communicates in a rich and symbolic language, and its messages rarely arrive in the exact form you might expect. When you learn to decode this language, your journey of creation transforms from one of blind faith into one of interactive, responsive communication. Every return signal, no matter how small, becomes a joyful confirmation that you are on the right track. This feedback loop builds your confidence, strengthens your faith, and helps you maintain the high positive frequency required to see your desire all the way through to its full manifestation. Becoming a cosmic decoder turns your life into an exciting treasure hunt, where you are constantly discovering clues and messages that confirm you are being guided and supported every step of the way. The first type of return signal you must learn to decode are synchronicities. A synchronicity is a meaningful coincidence, an event so timely and so relevant to your desire that it feels like more than just random chance. These are the universe's winks, its little nods of encouragement to let you know it has received your signal loud and clear. Synchronicities can take countless forms. A very common form is seeing repeating number patterns, like 111, 222, or 1111 on clocks, just as you are thinking about your goal. Another is hearing a specific word, name, or phrase mentioned multiple times by different, unrelated people in a short period. It could also be thinking of an old friend and then having them call you minutes later, or opening a book to a random page that contains the perfect answer to a question you have been pondering. The key to decoding these signals is to pay attention to your own intuitive response. When a coincidence happens that gives you a little jolt of recognition, a feeling of, "Oh, that's interesting," you must learn to honor that feeling. The practice is to start a synchronicity log. In a journal, simply note down the date and the meaningful coincidence. For example, I was feeling doubtful about my ability to start my new business. I went for a walk and saw a moving truck with the company name Success Movers. I took it as a sign to keep moving forward. You do not need to obsess over the meaning of every single sign. The simple act of noticing and acknowledging them is what matters. It is you telling the universe, "Thank you for the return signal. I see it. I'm listening." This acknowledgement often increases the frequency of the signs, strengthening your two-way communication. The second type of return signal to decode comes in the form of people and opportunities. The universe very often speaks and acts through other people. An answer to your broadcast may come in the form of a chance conversation with a stranger, an unexpected email from a colleague, or a seemingly random offer from a friend. You must be open to the possibility that the people who cross your path are not there by accident. They may be messengers or agents of the universe, sent to deliver a piece of your manifestation. For example, your desire is to find the perfect apartment. You have broadcasted your signal with clarity and power. A few days later, you are at a party and you overhear a conversation where someone mentions their neighbor is about to move out of a beautiful apartment that is not even on the market yet. This is a powerful return signal. It is the universe delivering an opportunity through another person. Another common way this happens is through stepping stone opportunities. Your ultimate desire might be to run a massive company, but the return signal you receive is an offer for a junior management position at a small startup. The ego might dismiss this as being too small, but the cosmic decoder recognizes this as a vital return signal, a perfect training ground to learn the skills you will need to run your larger company one day. The practice here is to remain open and curious in your interactions with others, always asking yourself, what is the message or opportunity this person might be bringing into my life? The third and most advanced type of return signal to decode are challenges and obstacles. This is often the most difficult concept for people to grasp, but it is also the most powerful. Sometimes the universe's return signal does not look like an open door. It looks like a brick wall. A setback, a rejection, or a failure is not necessarily a no from the universe. More often than not, it is a valuable return signal that is providing you with crucial feedback, a necessary course correction, or an important lesson. Learning to see challenges in this way is a sign of true mastery. For example, you have broadcasted your signal for a successful product launch. On the day of the launch, your website crashes. The initial appearance is one of disaster. However, upon investigation, you discover a major security flaw that could have been devastating if it had not been found. The website crash, the challenge, was actually a merciful return signal from the universe, protecting you from a much bigger problem down the road. Another example is rejection. You apply for your dream job and you get a firm no. This feels like a failure. But 2 months later, you find out that the company went through major negative restructuring. The rejection was actually a divine redirection, a return signal from the universe protecting you and guiding you toward an even better, more stable opportunity that was just around the corner. The practice here is to reframe every challenge. When you encounter an obstacle, you must pause the frustration and ask, what is this trying to teach me? How is this challenge redirecting me to something even better? What is the gift in this situation? You have now learned to be a participant in a grand, cosmic conversation. You know how to send your signal with power, and you now know how to listen for and decode the replies. You understand that the universe is always communicating with you. There is one final, profound step on this journey. It is the ultimate integration of all that you have learned. What if the goal was never just to broadcast a signal to get what you want? What if the ultimate goal is to become the signal itself, to so fully embody the frequency of your desires that your physical reality has no choice but to match it? Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 6. Becoming the Signal You Wish to Send. You have traveled a magnificent and powerful journey. You have learned how to construct a tall and stable inner broadcasting tower, how to craft a crystal-clear signal of desire, how to tune that signal to the precise frequency of success, how to amplify its power to reach the farthest corners of the cosmos, and how to decode the subtle return signals the universe sends back to you. You now possess the complete technical manual for conscious creation. But what is the final step? What is the ultimate state of being for a master manifesto? It is to come to the profound realization that you are not just the broadcaster of the signal. You are the signal. Imagine a musician who has spent years mastering their instrument. In the beginning, they focus on the techniques, the notes, the scales, the chords. But as they reach a state of mastery, they transcend the technique. They no longer play the music, they become the music. The music flows through them effortlessly, an authentic expression of who they are. The problem that even advanced students of manifestation face is that they continue to treat the process as a transactional one. They see it as a set of techniques to do in order to get something that is separate from them. This creates a persistent, subtle gap between who they are and what they want. They are a person doing wealth techniques, rather than a wealthy person being. This final chapter is about closing that gap forever. The transformative solution, the graduation from this entire course of study, is the full embodiment of your desired reality. The ultimate mastery is to so completely integrate the frequency of your desire into your identity that there is no longer any separation between you and it. You no longer need to broadcast a signal for wealth. You simply are the frequency of wealth, and your physical reality naturally and effortlessly rearranges itself to reflect your state of being. You do not need to broadcast a signal for love. You become a person who is so filled with love that you naturally attract it everywhere you go. This is the shift from attracting your desire to radiating your reality. It is the state where manifestation is no longer something you do, but an automatic and constant byproduct of who you have become. This is the ultimate freedom. the end of all striving, and the beginning of a life lived as a pure, powerful, and authentic expression of your highest potential. The first principle of this final integration is the principle of absolute congruence. Congruence is the state where your every thought, your every word, your every feeling, and your every action are in perfect, harmonious alignment with your new, chosen identity. There is no contradiction. You cannot embody the signal of a healthy person if your thoughts are self-critical, your words are complaints about your body, your feelings are shame, and your actions are to eat junk food. The lack of congruence creates a chaotic, scrambled signal. To achieve absolute congruence, you must become a vigilant guardian of your alignment. The practice is a daily congruence check. At various points throughout your day, you will pause and ask yourself, is the thought I am thinking right now congruent with the person I am becoming? Is the word I am about to speak congruent? Is the action I am about to take congruent? For example, if your new identity is that of a calm and confident leader, and you find yourself about to engage in worried gossip with a coworker, your congruence check will stop you. You will recognize that gossip is not congruent with the identity of a calm leader, and you will consciously choose a different, more aligned action, like focusing on a solution-oriented task instead. This constant, moment-to-moment alignment is what integrates your new identity at the deepest level. The second principle is cultivating the principle of inevitability. This is a profound shift in mindset from hope to certainty. Hope is a beautiful starting point, but it still contains an element of doubt. It is the energy of I hope this works. Certainty, or inevitability, is the energy of it is done. It is only a matter of time before it appears. It is a deep, quiet, unshakable inner knowing that your desired reality is not just a possibility, but a future fact. You must cultivate this feeling of inevitability until it becomes your default state. The practice for this is mental rehearsal of the aftermath. Instead of just visualizing the achievement of your goal, you will spend time visualizing the time after the achievement. Imagine yourself 6 months after you have achieved your great success. What is your life like? How do you feel? Notice how normal it feels. It is no longer a big, exciting, dramatic event. It has become your new normal. You are comfortable, at ease, and you are already thinking about your next level of growth. By mentally rehearsing the aftermath, you are training your nervous system to accept this new reality as completely normal and natural. This removes all anxious, needy energy and replaces it with the calm, powerful certainty of a person who knows where they are going. This energy of inevitability is one of the most magnetic and potent signals you can possibly embody. The third and final principle is to master the principle of being. For so long, our society has been obsessed with doing. We are taught that our value comes from what we accomplish and what we produce. The ultimate state of mastery, however, is to shift your primary focus from what you are doing to who you are being. At any given moment, your state of being is broadcasting the most powerful signal of all. The core practice is to frequently ask yourself the most important question of all. Who am I being right now? Am I being a person of fear or a person of faith? Am I being a person of lack or a person of abundance? Am I being a person of criticism or a person of love? You come to realize that your primary creative work is to manage your state of being. For example, you are working on a project and you encounter a setback. The old model would be to focus on doing, working harder, pushing through. The new model is to first focus on being. You pause and ask, who do I need to be right now? The answer might be, I need to be a person of resilience. I need to be a person of creative problem solving. I need to be a person of unwavering faith. By first consciously choosing your state of being, the right doing, the perfect aligned action will naturally and effortlessly flow from that state. Your actions become a byproduct of your being, not a struggle against your circumstances. You have now walked the complete path of the conscious broadcaster. You have learned to build your inner tower, to craft your signal, to tune your frequency, to amplify your power, to decode the feedback, and finally, to transcend the entire process by simply becoming the signal itself. You understand that the goal was never just to get the things you wanted. The true goal was always to become the person who was capable of creating and sustaining them. The joy is not in the destination, but in the magnificent being you become along the way. This is not an ending. It is your true beginning. You are no longer just a person sending a signal into the universe. You are a living, breathing, and powerful universal signal, an authentic expression of divine creative power, here to broadcast your unique and beautiful music to the world. We have come to the end of our journey together, tracing the path from building your inner broadcasting tower to ultimately becoming the very signal you wish to send. You have learned how to craft your desires with clarity, tune them with emotion, amplify them with power, and decode the universe's loving feedback. You now hold the complete blueprint for transforming your life, not by changing what you do, but by consciously changing the very energy you are. Remember that you are a powerful creator, and your life is the beautiful, ever-changing reflection of the universal signal you choose to broadcast each and every day. May your signal be clear, powerful, and true. Thank you for dedicating your time and your beautiful energy to this masterclass. It has been a profound honor to guide you. If you have found value in this journey, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the Success Attraction Formula channel to continue your growth. We would be thrilled to hear about the new signals you are broadcasting in the comments below.